What is going on, my fellow comic book readers, collectors, and enthusiasts alike? I am your host, Alt, here at Control Alt Defeat Comics, and I am back for my weekly comic book review. That is right, I know that this is a day late, but as I said in my community post the other day, I was quite sick pretty much from Friday until Monday. I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I barely had any voice at all. Saturday and Sunday especially, I could not speak in any capacity. And then Monday, I was still recovering, but I am back to pretty much normal now. There's still a little bit in there, but I'm getting this video out for you guys. So yeah, I just wanted to apologize for the delay on this video, and I also want to apologize for the delay on the Top Tuesday. This is being recorded on Tuesday, so I imagine that I will not be able to get my typical Top Tuesday video out for you guys until probably Thursday or Friday. But I'm still getting this video out for you today, and you can still expect your new Comic Book Day vlog tomorrow as usual. Yeah, that is my little apologies there. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right on into my weekly comic book review. I'm going to be reviewing all of the comics that I read for the week of Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. So if you have not read any of the comics that released Wednesday, February 4th, 2026, this is going to go ahead and be your spoiler warning, spoiler alert right now. If you've not read any of the comics that I picked up, or any of the comics that released this past week, go ahead and click off of this video now. If you just want to see what I picked up for the week, you can go ahead and check out my new Comic Book Day vlog that I will link down in the description below, and you can see what all I picked up. But with that being said, we are going to go ahead right on into this. Again, your last spoiler warning before I start really getting in-depth and reviewing all of these issues. So let's go ahead and get right on into the issues. And we're going to get into our number one pick of the week. This week, our pick of the week goes to a DC comic. And that pick of the week is going to be DC KO Night Fight, issue number 5. Number 4, excuse me, sorry. This was a 4-issue miniseries, and this was the end of this series. And this was amazing. I loved everything about it. It is emotional. It is beautifully well written. The characterization of each of the characters within this is phenomenal. The introduction of, again, I've already given you spoilers, but another spoiler warning. The introduction of Alfred Wayne, the grandson of Bruce, is insanely cool. I love it. I love getting to see Damian as Batman throughout this, and it's just a lot of fun. And the characterization of Bruce is just a lot of fun. I have loved Night Fight. It has easily been my favorite of the tie-in comics that have come out for DC KO, and this week was no different. So that's why this had to be my pick of the week, not just for DC, but my pick of the week in general, and this is going to go ahead and receive a 10 out of 10. This issue was incredible. Next up on the DC docket, we had Absolute Superman. This was issue number 16. This is the beginning of a new story arc involving our Absolute Hawkman, and there are some insane reveals. First of all, Hawkman clearly gets his powers from Black Adam, and that is quite an interesting turn. We are definitely going to get more of those characters in this story going forward, and I love that. Also, the action in this issue between Superman and Hawkman was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it so much. And the end of this comic finally giving us some introductions on our Absolute Lex Luthor also was a lot of fun. Overall, I thought this story was great. It was a fantastic start to a brand new story arc, and I've got to give this one another 10 out of 10. Next up on DC, we have got Batman Static Beyond, issue number 3. This has been a lot of fun. Now, I am somebody who does not know a huge amount about Virgil Hawkins' Static Shock, and I have not really until this year. They've been doing a lot of stuff with Static between this, and a few other things. This has just been a whole lot of fun, though, and I'm a big fan of Batman Beyond, and this definitely feels like an incredibly well-written Batman Beyond story, for sure. I loved that about this. I've got to give this one a good, solid 9 out of 10. It was great. Super fun to read. The characters are fun. Static is actually a really cool character that I'm really starting to dig quite a bit throughout this and the other stories that he's been involved in lately. So I've just, loved it. Absolutely loved it. Next up on the DC list is going to go to another Absolute book. We've got Absolute Green Lantern. This was issue number 11. And I've been enjoying this series quite a bit. It heavily follows Joe Mullins, and this issue we get a little bit more info on like the Spectrum. The next issue is going to heavily involve Tomar-Ray, and I really like that because he's one of my characters from Green Lantern lore that I do enjoy quite a bit. So this story was really fun. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. And finally, the last book on DC, the bottom of the pile, I would say honestly, I would say for the week this week, is going to go to DCKO Boss Battle, issue number 1. This is the first DCKO tie-in event that I wasn't really a big fan of. It just really didn't feel necessary. It felt like the story wasn't all there. The characterizations of these guest characters were okay at best. And I don't know, it just felt very unnecessary and pointless. And that, I also just wasn't a big fan of the way this ended, to be completely honest with you. I thought this could have ended in a much more satisfying way than it did. So I'm going to go ahead and give this DCKO tie-in comic a 6 out of 10, and that is why it is at the bottom of the stack for DC and the week as a whole. Now, moving on from DC, we're going to move into the Marvel Comics released this week, and the top of the stack for Marvel is going to go to Ultimate Endgame issue 2. I am somebody who, I've been saying since the start of this event, this is not the end of the Ultimate Universe. This is the end of the Maker controlling it. And that's it. And more each issue, I am solidified in believing that they will beat the Maker one way or another. I really liked this issue. This was a pretty heavy Doom issue. And the reveal at the end being that Doom is working for the Maker and has betrayed the Ultimates is quite a huge reveal, in my opinion, and I really enjoyed that. So, overall, I have to give this one a 9 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. That's why it's my pick of the week for Marvel this week. Moving on to the next pick for Marvel. This is Godzilla Infinity Roar, issue number 1. This is a brand new series following up on the previous Godzilla Marvel crossover. I think it was Godzilla versus the Marvel Universe that this follows up on. And it essentially is the story of Null controlling or boosting Godzilla and using him to attack Earth. It essentially, well, no, not actually Earth in this issue. Other worlds throughout the universe. And the ending of this was quite interesting, with Odin rallying all of the forces of Asgard to battle against Galactus. Meanwhile, you have... Sorry, did I say Galactus? I meant Godzilla. Meanwhile, you have Galactus attempting... You've got the Fantastic Four contacting Galactus, attempting to have him help them with Godzilla. Which means, to me, we're probably going to get a good old-fashioned kaiju fight between Godzilla and Galactus, and that's going to be really exciting. Cannot wait to see that. Overall, I would say this issue was phenomenal. I'm going to give this one an 8.5 out of 10. Phenomenal, super fun, great read. The final book on the stack for Marvel, and it was still really good actually, is Nova Centurion issue number 4, excuse me. This is a story that I have liked quite a bit. I've never read a Nova story before. I've never read a Nova Centurion book. I've never read a Richard Rider book of any kind. I've seen him in crossover events and stuff like that, but this is the first time I've ever read the character proper in a solo, and I've got to say, this is a lot of fun. I've actually really grown to enjoy the character of Nova. I think he's a lot of fun. The like side characters and all the like ensemble cast that you have within this comic are also really fun, and the villains have actually been really cool as well. And this is heavily like tied into the events of like Annihilation Conquest. So if you're a fan of that, this is a great read for you. I loved this. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a solid 8.5 out of 10 as well. I would say it is tied with Godzilla Infinity Roar. I'm just putting this a little below Godzilla Infinity Roar purely out of the bias of 1, loving Godzilla, 2, loving Null, 3, loving Galactus, and 4, the fact that it is a brand new series, so it can just only, well, I guess it could just drop completely, but, like, it's a great pushing off point. This is just a really good continuation of an already great series. So, overall, really enjoyed this. Cannot wait for issue number 5. And that is going to be it for the Marvel books for the week. Now we are going to move on to the independent comics, and we've only got 2 independent comics to talk about this week. And the top of the pile from independents this week is going to go to Rick and Morty, The End, issue number 3. I loved this. This is my favorite issue of this series, of this story so far. And I actually, this was a series I wasn't super duper sure I was going to love. Like, I like Rick and Morty, but I wasn't sure how much I was going to like them in comic book form, and I haven't read any of the previous comic book runs prior to this. So, but I picked it up purely because of the blindless blind bag gimmick thing, and I thought that would be funny. Read the first issue because I picked it up, loved it, have been reading it ever since. Really enjoying this. Really, really enjoying this. This issue very much heavily involves these, whatever they were called, the Vindicators, yeah, these new Vindicators, and we've got, like, Rick kind of dealing with them. It has a very heavy story about the Meeseeks and whatnot, and then the end of this is Rick surrendering to them, which is quite interesting. We've got 3 more issues of this, excuse me, we're halfway through, and yeah, I've really been enjoying this quite a bit so far. I think, honestly, like, this is one of the best. This might be my number 3 for the week, honestly. I think this is going to be my number 3 for the week. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9.5 out of 10. This was so much fun. Can't wait to read the next issue. And finally, the last book of the week goes to the Supernatural Valentine's Day Special 2026. This, I really have been enjoying. I really have been enjoying this Dynamite comic run on Supernatural. I thought this special was pretty good. Not the most amazing special that I've read ever, but still quite a bit of fun. Quite a good read. Had me very, like, gripped and interested the entire time. And, yeah, I enjoyed it. As a fan of Supernatural, I think it's a really good read. I'm going to go ahead and give this one an 8 out of 10. That is going to end us off for the week. That was every comic that I read for this week. If you guys enjoyed this video at any point, please drop a like, comment, or subscribe. Any kind of feedback or commentary you can leave this channel is always greatly appreciated. If there are any comics on this list that you think don't deserve the ranking that I gave them, or are there any comics that you released last week that you think that I missed out on by not having on my pull list, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always looking forward to have any kind of conversation with you guys about comics. Comic books are my passion. If you're watching this channel, I imagine they are yours as well. I want to just take this time to say thank you so very much for anybody who has watched this channel and decided, I liked that, I'm going to go ahead and subscribe. I have recently hit 42 subscribers, the secret to life in the universe, so thank you so much to everybody who has gotten me to 42 subscribers. We are slowly inching our way. We're almost halfway to our 100 subscriber goal by the end of the year. So everybody who has helped contribute to me reaching that goal, sincerely from the bottom of my heart, thank you so very much. And again, thank you for putting up with the little bit of delay in my videos for this week. Hopefully after this, we will be back to business as usual. But if you enjoyed this video at any point, please check out my channel for more comic book content to come. I will see you tomorrow in my new Comic Book Day vlog. Have yourself a fantastic day, fantastic week, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.